strongest man to ever live in America is Shane Hammond, a very dear friend of mine who once worked for my organization as a speaker. Shane represented the United States in 2 Olympics, and he held several world records. On several occasions, I heard Shane quote the mantra of most weightlifters. He would say, "No pain, no gain." Without the resistance of the weights, the muscles can't develop. And the more resistance we experience, the bigger the muscles grow. No pain, no gain. But that mantra also applies to many other things in our lives, not just weightlifting. Every yes is the result of experiencing thousands of no's. Thomas Edison was once ridiculed for having failed 1,000 times in his attempt to produce a workable light bulb. After he was successful in his quest, he remarked that he hadn't failed 1,000 times, he had simply found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. I don't know about you, but I've often helped people, including family members, only to realize later that I was bailing them out of a situation which would have helped them to mature. My help ended up prolonging their learning curve and sometimes causing them to be angry with me. There are legitimate times to help, and there are legitimate times to simply allow people to learn from their mistakes. Caterpillars and butterflies are great examples.
One day I watched a butterfly emerge from its cocoon. It pushed and struggled mightily, and then it seemed to swoon. Half in, half out it hung there, and I began to doubt that it would ever make it through, and so I helped it out. I took a pair of scissors, and I slowly cut away that all-confining structure that had held it in its sway. But then I came to realize the damage I had done. I watched that poor thing flounder as it lay there in the sun. Its wings deformed and incomplete, it made me want to cry. By helping, I had sealed its fate, and now would never fly. In horror, I stood watching as it drew its final breath. By helping with the struggle, I had guaranteed its death. If only I had chosen not to lend a hand that day. If only someone had explained and I had walked away. That butterfly would now be free to flap its wings and fly, to soar away throughout the day into the endless sky. I need the wisdom to discern when I should lend a hand, or sometimes absolutely not. I've come to understand that struggle, sorrow, tears, and pain may open up a door that we alone may come to own, that place from which we soar.
Sometimes well-intending parents abort character development in their children by bailing them out of situations that would teach them important lessons. Spoiled children, entitled teenagers, and young adults are often the product of helicopter parents who rescue them from wrong decisions. Sometimes our best reply to a family member or friend who's looking for a shortcut out of a situation that they created is simply, "I love you, but no." Thousands of years ago, a great philosopher wrote that he had developed a disciplined tongue that knew how to speak a word in season to those who are weary. That's a profound statement. There are 4 principles that are embedded in that quote. Number 1, that I should know how. That denotes skill. Number 2, that I should know how to speak a word. Not everything I know, just a word. That's selective. Number 3, that I should know how to speak a word in season. That's when to do it. And number 4, that I should know how to speak a word in season to those that are weary. That's supportive, not abortive. Develop a disciplined tongue that knows how to speak a word in season to the one who is weary, but don't help the butterfly, or it may die.